Let me tell y'all something, man. If you made it here to the Passover, tonight, you love the Most High. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live? American KKK, land of the good, smokers, home of the slaves, and I'm just trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Cannot live my dreams on this earth. Since I was young, I realized I had a destiny bigger than the fiction that disguises what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that beat the death of me. As a blade since we've been hypnotized since elementary. Thought it was my skin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate me because of what my ancestors used to be. Careless.
Hey, shalom, everyone. YAHANNA, SHALAM.
Shalom. Shalom. I'm Officer 500 Zavaja, the I.S.U.P.K, the Commanding General YAHANNA. With me, I got Officer 50 Shari Wan. Shalom Yahweh Hashem El Shai Barakatah to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Alatah Hashem El Shai to all the sisters. Right, this is the Monday night history class. We started out with the technical difficulty off the bat. The oppressor is a devil. right? I say the oppressor is the devil like at least 50 times a day. I think it's making my teeth whiter. But hey, what do I know? I ain't shit, right? So this is the I.S.U.P.K. Monday night history class. Tonight we're going to be going into the history of Jim Crow and the Pickaninny, right? And that's the black image in media, right? And you just have to turn on your TV, turn on your radio, just watch any movie, and you'll see what they think of us, right? You'll see what they push in the media, right? And nowadays they're a little more subtle. They're not more subtle. They're not as blatant as they used to be. Throw in their BS of our character and how they like to make us look and portray us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in media. When you watch any type of movie, TV show, or just anything in general, right? You watch the news and it's always someone Black, Hispanic, or Native American committing crime, right? Always someone Black, Hispanic, or Native American going through some tragedy, right? Crime affects the other nations just as much as it does us, but they do not show it. They don't show it on the news as how they would. So yeah, my computer is freezing up at the moment, right? So if you're watching, like, subscribe, and share the channel. Right? Like, subscribe, and share to the channel. Should be working. Slocky, can you hear me?
Con, sir.
Frozen out.
So I can hear you okay, sir. Your video's
No.
freezing up a bit, but the audio's okay.
No sweat. I'm trying to work it out so it works out properly. Just gotta mess with this Wi-Fi a second. Leave it how it is. This thing is acting difficult right now. All right, so we're back. Still doing the same thing. Hold up. All right, can you hear me now, Officer Shariwan?
Con.
Okay, we should be back to normal right now. Hopefully everything's working. All right, so we're gonna be going into the history of Jim Crow, the Pickaninny, and the image of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So before a little bit of reading that we could do before we start, and then we're gonna go into some images. Me. God damn. Don't forget tonight at 9 o'clock we got Black General Yohanna and the heavy hitters, right? Those and the captains. Black Watch tonight, 9 p.m. Monday night. You know how it goes. It's going down. It's Monday. Let's get it. Let me get that quick. All right. So we got, this is from the history, right? We're going to be reading a little brief history on Jim Crow. They're going to keep that flipping devil at the bottom of my screen. The oppressor is the devil. Just look at him, right? The term Jim Crow typically refers to repressive laws and customs once used to restrict Black American rights. But the origin of the name itself actually dates back to before the Civil War. In the early 1830s, the white actor Thomas Dartmouth, Salagi, I'm not calling no oppressor that word, Dartmouth Rice, was propelled to stardom for performing minstrel routines as the film Jim Crow, a character of a dim-witted Black enslaved man. Rice claimed to have first created the character after witnessing an elderly Black man singing a tune called Jump Jim Crow in Louisville, Kentucky. He later appropriated the Jim Crow persona into his minstrel act, where he donned blackface and performed jokes and songs in a stereotypical dialect. Right? So this oppressor, he basically acted how he thought the slaves acted. Right? He was acting like for better words, he was acting like a coon. Right? He was acting like how they portrayed black slaves to be slow, yes massa, no massa, like we sick massa type. That's how he was portraying himself. Right? For example, Jump Jim Crow included the popular refrain, wheel about and turn about and do jigs. So every time I'll wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. Rice's minstrel act proved a massive hit among white audiences. Right? Our oppressors, they love to see a black man act like a fool. Right? Even if it's not a black man, a white man could an oppressor could don himself in blackface and act like he's black, and that's what they love. That's why the movie Tropical Thunder was such a box office hit. When you had that devil who played Iron Man, he dressed up as a black man for the movie Tropical Thunder, and every white person loved it. Right? We even have some Negroes who say like that wasn't a big deal, right? But if you don yourself as a Asian man, or you act like you're one of the fake Amalek Jews, they'll cancel you right away. They'll make sure that you never eat again. I still can't get rid of that devil. Hold on 1 second. All right, we're gonna get right. Okay, so that's what basically what was happening. Like with everyone, like men would put shoe polish on their face, right? They would put shoe polish on their face, and they would act as if they were would act as if they were black men living in the harshest conditions. This All right, I'm trying to get it to reload. This internet is just terrible. It's terrible. All right, let me get that screenshot. Yeah. All right, so and he later took it on tour around Great Britain, right? So this oppressor made money off acting like he was black, right? That's just like every oppressor you could think of who makes who makes money off hip hop music, right? We think of Eminem. Eminem act like he was one of us, like he was accepted, and unfortunately, because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't know their history and don't know who their enemy is, you could blame the Christian church for that. Everybody accepted Eminem and his "he'll rape his own mother" lyrics, right? When that's not what black men do, right? We don't get down to songs like that. Most of There's a few people who, like, you have Benzino. Benzino tried to speak out against it, but because the machine that runs media from the fake Amalekites, right? Those fake people who call themselves Jews but are not, they're the synagogue of Satan. They pushed Eminem hard, and Eminem is damn near the godfather of the do drugs and rap culture, do the lean and all the pills, right? You wonder why black children do pills now? You could blame Eminem for what he influenced rap culture on, right? So let's get back into this. As the show became, as the show's popularity spread, became a widely used derogatory term for black people. Jim Crow's popularity as a fictional character eventually died out, but in the late 19th century, the phrase found new life as a blanket term for a wave of anti-black laws laid down after Reconstruction. Some of the most common laws included restrictions on voting rights. Many southern states required literacy tests or limited suffrage to use whose grandfathers had also had the right to vote. Other laws banned interracial relationships, while clauses allowed businesses to separate their black and white clientele. Uh, Segregation. What else we got? We'll read this last paragraph. Segregationist philosophy of separate but equal was later upheld in the famous 1896 Supreme Court decision, Plessy v. Ferguson, in which the court ruled that the state of Louisiana had right to require different railroad cards for blacks and whites. The Plessy decision would eventually lead to widespread adoption of segregated restaurants, public bathrooms, water fountains, and other facilities. Separate but equal was eventually overturned in the 1954 Supreme Court case, Brown versus Board of Education. But Jim Crow's legacy would continue to endure in some southern states for decades. So we got that. We're going to stop with that real quick. Right, so we're going to go into some of these. We're going to go into some of these pictures, right? So the stereotypes, right? All right. So the Pickaninny stereotype gallery. The Pickaninny was the dominant racial character of black children for most of this country's history. They were child coons, right? Miniature versions of Step and Fetch It. They give see Pilgrim 2000. Pickaninnies had bulging eyes, unkept hair, red lips, wide mouths into which they stuffed huge slices of watermelon. They were they were themselves tasty morsels for alligators, right? And that's very interesting that they say they were tasty. That's letting you know part of the history of what was going on in slavery. There was a time, like they did in Egypt, right? They did this in the South too, where right now they still hunt alligators and eat, right? The people who live in the bayous, the oppressors who live in the bayous, they can't even speak English properly. They still eat alligator. There was a time in history when they would have they would take our babies and throw them into the swamps for alligator bait. So the alligators could come up and they would hunt these alligators for food, right? And just like in these Pickaninny images, they would make cartoons of pickaninnies and use them in the cartoons for alligator bait. Meaning the alligators would eat some of these pickaninny children, right? And the pickaninnies again are just they're it's how they wanted to draw us. It's how they saw us. It's how they see us till this day. Till this day, our oppressors see us as lazy, right? Even though they needed us to build the whole Western Hemisphere, damn near the whole world, right? The blood, sweat, and tears of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans built empires, and it's always built empires since the ancient Babylonians, right? Since ancient Greek and Rome and the Assyrian Empire, our blood, our sweat and tears, our hard work has always built up empires and made empires rich. Right, so we're gonna go into some of these images. Right, let's go to this first one. You can see it. This is an alligator, right? Let's see if we can make it a little bigger. Yeah, that's perfect. This is an alligator, right? This is supposed to be an image of man, right? And they're letting you know they fed us the alligator. They made pictures of it, right? They made sculptures of it, toys of it. These are figurines. People, oppressors will keep these on their table and show them off to their guests. Salakia, can you give Deuteronomy 28 and 9, Baba Kasha?
Okay.
Yeah, I need Deuteronomy 28 and 9.
This is the book of
Right. Let's
Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 9.
cut.
The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself.
Read that one more time. Let me catch up with you. Salakia, I can't hear you at all.
Come, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 9. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself.
Read.
Salakia, sir. Can you hear me?
You're breaking. You're jumping in and out. I'm not sure if it's my internet connection or yours, but you're jumping in and out, man. The oppressor, his internet is very finicky. They don't want this truth to come out. That's why, like,
Come.
everything else will work except
If
for when
thou
it's time
shalt
for
keep,
Khan,
Salakia,
you can keep going.
the Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself,
Right. Read.
as he has sworn unto thee.
Read. Salakia, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. While I wait for you, I'm gonna get some more into these images. Right. So we got the alligator
Come.
bait.
The Lord shall establish thee an holy people.
Salakia, can you hear me? You might have to just jump back out and try to get back in. But all right. So Salakia. Right. So I'm gonna read that myself. So this is Deuteronomy 28 and 9. The Lord shall establish thee as an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee. Right. So there was a time when the Lord told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that when he made a covenant with them, that their seeds are gonna be a holy people, right? He said the same thing to Moses, and Moses came and told us, right? And that's what we're reading right now. Moses telling us that we're gonna be a holy people, right? right? So that we're going to be a holy people. We're not supposed to be alligator bait, right? We're not supposed to be pickaninnies or coon. We're not supposed to tell the world that we're supposed to love our enemies after they rape and murder us, right? Martin Luther King was not supposed to force us into that burning house for his gain, right? We're a holy people, right? If thou shalt keep thy commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his ways. If we walked in his ways, this would have never happened to us, right? We're supposed to be ruling the world. We're not supposed to be ruled by these oppressors, right? And they've always hated us, right? Let's go into some more news, right? You can see this one here. Be a black man watermelon, because they say all of us eat watermelon, right? Now, if you're from the south, you know it's hot, right? Watermelon is a refreshing fruit, and if you don't like watermelon, there's something wrong with you, right? Salakia. But that's a stereotype that they gave us, right? All we did was eat watermelon, right? And fried chicken and have a bunch of babies, and we're strong enough to work the field for 14 hours a day, right? And meet quotas that they set. And if we didn't meet these quotas, they would use cattle whips and rip the skin off our back, rip all the flesh off our back. There's images of it. I'm gonna see if I could find it later, right? This is another image of the pickaninnies, right? Look at this one right here. Slovakia. Let's get this one, right? You can see that it's a alligator and a baby, right? Our oppressors are such devils, right? They are babies. That's why Christ told the Pharisees, "You are of your father the devil," because they were following the oppressor, and the oppressor, he is the devil the Bible speaks of. Right? Second. See if we can get some more. There's a whole bunch of these images here, right? This is how they thought of us, right? We're gonna go through some of these images, right? Let's jump down to Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and to observe and do all his commandments, right? If we didn't do all his commandments, the bad things would happen to us. And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? We'd have to go through curses, right? On the slave plantation was a curse, right? Us having to go to our oppressors for jobs today, that is a curse. Right? We're not supposed to have to go to our oppressor for the jobs today. Right? We're not supposed to have to go through any of that. Lock here. Right? 1 second. Let me find another precept for you. All right, let's jump to Deuteronomy 7, 6 and 9, right? So we're not supposed to be at the bottom right now, right? We're supposed to be ruling over the oppressor. The oppressor is not supposed to be ruling over us. But look at this one. This is a staff, right? Seeds and all, right? And look how they have this girl. her hair, right? This is how they look at us, right? And Black, Hispanic, and Native American women, you have beautiful hair, especially our sisters, right? Our sisters who would be from the tribe of Judah and Benjamin and Levi, they predominantly portray us as with hair that doesn't grow, right? And sisters, their self-esteem is so beaten that now there's nothing wrong with a weave, right? Except if you're wearing blonde weave, but there's nothing wrong with weave, right? When you wear blonde weave, you're taking on the spirit of your oppressor, right? But our sisters' spirits are so beaten down because of the images they see in the media that they portray our sisters. Our sisters rarely want to show their hair naturally, and their hair naturally, if they just embrace it, it's one of the most beautiful hair that you'll see, right? You could do many things with it. Not everybody can get cornrows and all types of styles that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans wear, right? Look at some of these images, right? They love feeding us to alligators. They have the alligator biting the rear end of this black man, right? And you can best believe they did it to Hispanics and Native Americans too, right? For this is Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people to the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? So we're supposed to be above all people that are on the face of the earth. The oppressor knows this, right? This is why they put out images like this so they can break our spirit. Right? There's so many of these images. Right? So they basically have our people just they portray us of the worst in media, and it's always been like that. Like, and then you have Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who actively they actively go with it. Like, for example, Steve Harvey said he would he would don a monkey costume and act like a monkey for millions of dollars. Right? Now, a young boy watching that, he thinks that he has to do whatever the oppressor says. If the oppressor says act like a drug dealer, he thinks that's his only way out. If the oppressor says act like a homosexual, he's the biggest homosexual in on TV, right? You think about every show that we watch now, if it involves a black, especially our black shows, right? There's always a homosexual. Look at the show Power. They had to just like the show Power was about the life of crime, right? And somehow they took that show and they added an effeminate brother who he's supposed to be the boss now. They're grooming him to be the boss. So that's telling the young Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you have to be you have to go against the Lord. You have to be homosexual to basically succeed in life, right? That's what they're trying to tell you, right? That's why they don't. Right, here's another thing, right? In the music industry, they only push gangster rap, right? And our videos constantly get flagged and taken down because we say Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the real Jews, and we're only supposed to love each other. On the same platforms that take down our video and flag us, right, and say we're hate groups, they have Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans talking about genocide, talking about going into whole neighborhoods and killing the whole neighborhood. right? And that's allowed to make millions of dollars. You have our sisters talking about what with who sleeps with who for a bag, and how much men they can have, right? And that makes millions of dollars. When you have a sister that raps about a sister in the world that raps about not being a hoe, right? They don't play her music. Her music doesn't get mainstream, right? Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, they released WAP, and that did numbers. The devil the Bible speaks of, he pushed that all throughout the earth, right? You can't even think of a sister that makes conscious music, right? Because they're not pushing that to you. Okay, I must have lost my internet. Hold up. They're definitely not to you, right? But we're supposed to be a chosen people, a special people throughout the earth. But that's good. What am I looking for? Right? But our oppressors, they hate us. They've always hated us. That's why they do what they do. This is why they put up the images that they put up of us. Right? We're gonna show you that the oppressor, he's always hated us, right? So we're gonna jump to Genesis 27. This is when Isaac got the blessing of his father, right? So not Salakia. Jacob, he is Salakia. Jacob's brother Esau traded his blessing towards to Jacob for some food, right? Because our oppressor is very carnal. So he traded his blessing for some food. When Jacob went to go get the blessing, he got the blessing. Esau didn't take it serious at first, and then when he realized the blessing was really going to Jacob, he was mad, right? So we're going to read from Genesis 27 and 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Right? And Esau said, verse 38, unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also. Right? So after Esau gave up his blessing, he tried to go get it back. Right? He's a sore loser. Right? He didn't care about the blessing until it was going to someone else. So after that, he tried to get it back. Right? O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Right? Esau was giving a lot of land. Right? His dwelling will be the fatness of the earth. Right? And the dew of heaven from above. Right? He's not going to get to reign in the earth unless we break the law, but he was giving lots of land. Right? While Jacob was given reign over everyone else. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brethren. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? That's basically talking about us going into captivity under Esau. Right? There's going to be a time when Esau gets dominion, and he's had dominion for a very long time, right? These our punishment is coming to an end right now, and his reign is coming to an end. Babylon is falling, right? It's falling. It's going to be kaput, no more. 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, and then will I slay my brother Jacob. The oppressors always hated us. There's no way around it. He's always hated us. He's a sore loser. What a officer. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Right? So we're gonna get into some more images. We're gonna get more images, right? This is what they think about us, right? They think that all we do is hate each other, right? Just look at how they portray us, right? Big lips, very dark skin. Good night. I am not even gonna describe the rest of this. You can just see it for yourself. Like, good night. Right? You got more images of black men running from alligators because they used to feed us to alligators, and you damn near a lot of these pictures is the oppressor showing us with our rear end exposed. Right? Our oppressor, he's also a homosexual. That's why he'll draw a picture of a male with his rear end exposed. That's why you could go to, like, just look through the museums and all the stonework that was in Rome and Greece, and it's always some oppressor naked, some muscular naked oppressor, right? This is why like the oppressor, he runs the weightlifting competitions where men lift weights for for gratitude, and like they're making some type of money off of it. But the men that lift weights, they are borderline homosexual, and they always have to. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing with working out because we work out a lot in the school, right? But our brothers are clothes, right? You look at those weightlifting competitions, it's always some semi-naked man grunting and lifting weights, and he's getting judged by other men for doing that, right? Our oppressor is such a blatant homosexual, right? Little Black Sambo. Now, Sambo was another character that they portrayed as a coon, right? So you can see this image that has the Mammy type image, and it has a Sambo type image, right? Sambo's a little boy, and this is the pursuing father, could be uncle. They're not really saying, but these are the images they put out for us for years, and these would be posted. These would be Slovakia. These would be stamps for postcards and such like that, right? They would use these images for years. Like other images that they would use like literally our lynching, the image of our lynching, of our murder, and use that as a postcard, right? And write on the back of it whatever fake holiday that they wanted to celebrate. Right? See, these are more images. It seems like every image you see is some image of us with our backside exposed. Right? That's to let you know the oppressor was raping and sodomizing so many of us. Just look at the oppressor's Catholic Church. It's full of sodomy and children who are being molested and tortured. Right? Now you gotta like think about like, let's see if we can find some more. But night, there's a whole bunch of images. We're just gonna go slowly. Just look at these images, right? Our oppressor always hated us. That's because we got the birthright that he gave away, right? The oppressor never believes in nothing until they see you doing it, and then as soon as they figure out, oh wow, okay, that's really worth something, then they want to come and take it. Right? Actually, I did have a little movie for us to watch. I pray it works. Uh, right, but while we wait for that, I'm gonna read something for you, right? Remember, I told you Deuteronomy 28:15 told you about curses, right? I'm gonna just summarize the last part of it. That all these curses shall come upon thee. So, like, I'll just read the whole thing. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now let's jump to 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lend thee, shall lead thee. Right? They call us nigger, they call us stick till this day. Right? They call us coons, pickaninnies, sambos, like that's what they did, right? And that's a curse for not following the Most High. Right? Not the Most High, we went through these curses. Let's jump down to 43. Right? This is a definitely what now is happening to us right now. Right? Verse 43 describes the black man right now. Right? The black, Hispanic, and Native man right now. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. And thou shalt come down very low. Right? They wanted us to come down very low. Look at these images again. So I got a little screen share.
Gonna catch me a rabbit. Well, shut on there. Rabbit tracks. What's up, Doc? I just shot me a rabbit, and you were opposite. Out there, man. It's putting me a pair of them. Well, call me Adam.
It's freezing up. All right. So we have the right of one to this day. Even till this day, there's a long list of coolish type characters that they make for our shows, right? There was a controversy with Star Wars where there's a there is a character, right? In Star Wars Episode 1, I forgot the character's name, but it's like an alien kind of like it has dreads and the mannerisms and how they made that character sound like when he talked, it sounded like a a brother who was basically on the slave plantations, right? That's what it sounded like. It sounded like a brother who was on the slave plantations, right? Let me see if I can find that image. Right? But that they've always portrayed us as some type of coon type character. Where does it help the youth's self esteem? On their TV, and it's always some type of coon type character, right? And when they do give us a movie that shows some man with our skin complexion, is usually and that character is a hero. It's usually they usually make that character African, right? They usually make that character a stinking hammer, right? Look at Black Panther, right? Black Panther is supposed to be the hero in the movie, and the villain in the movie is a black man who seen the suffering, right? So he's supposed to be in the movie. He's a Hamite as well, but he's supposed to be like grew up amongst the Negroes, right? He's supposed to know the suffering of the Negroes. He comes to the Black Panther and says, "Listen, yo, I'm challenging you for your throne because at the end of the day, like y'all were supposed to help your brothers and sisters over there. For the record, the Black, Hispanic, and Native American man are not African. We are Shemites. We are not Hamites, right?" But when we're talking about the movie, they portrayed the movie like we were brothers and sisters. The Killmonger was supposed to go and free up the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Black Panther did not want that, right? And in the ending of the movie, they do what every oppressor does. They give us just a crumb. In the ending of the movie, all we got was a youth center. We didn't get dominance over the world like we're supposed to. This is not working, so I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Gonna go back into the screen share. We're gonna share some more of these images. Right, so we're gonna share some more of these images. Right, if you notice, every picture, damn near every picture, is a child with its back exposed. Right, another one, back exposed. Like, what is going through the oppressor's mind? Right, right. You have a image of a white goose chasing after his sister and trying to bite her on the rear end, right? And our oppressor, they have a sick sexual fantasy or some sick sexual lust deviancy with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Now, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the most beautiful people on the face of the planet, right? No one compares to us. We show the world how to do so many things, how to cleanse, proper hygiene, right? You just look towards Elam. Elam plays with cow dung. They worship the cow. They bathe in a filthy river and say this river is supposed to purify them. This river is for the gods. They have a whole god where the god is on her menstrual, and they take the blood and put it in the middle of their forehead. And it wasn't until it came out the other day on Blackwatch that I understood what that red dot was for. And I always wondered, why did they have this red dot in the middle of their forehead? Lo and behold, I find out it's menstrual blood. Disgusting, right? They've always had us as some type of animal, right? They treat us like we're animals that we need them. We can't live without them, right? That's totally not true. We had Seneca Village, we had Black Wall Street, we have Acreville out in Nova Scotia, where the townspeople built a whole town, and the town was beautiful. The oppressors hated it so much they started dumping their garbage, right? Look, a lot of alligators, right? It's a lot of alligators. Now look at this one. This this image right here. This is a sample image, right? Now this is either for darts or BBs at some type of carnival, right? You shoot him in his head, it's 200 points. You take the top of his hat, it's 300, right? You hit him, Slovakia, pause. You shoot in the rear, it's 500, 1,000 points, right? Our oppressors totally hate us. This is why you're not supposed to give your love to the oppressors. How can you think that after 400 years of oppression that they're going to love you? Like, there is no other nation that loves their enemies, right? We're the only nation that's told we have to love our enemies, and it totally. Slovakia, one moment. Our shepherds, right? Our shepherds, we're like lamb. We're sheep. We're easy to be led. We're easy to be led astray, right? Our shepherds, they don't lead us properly. They only care about how much money they can get from the Christian church, from the oppressors, right? Every pastor in the Christian church only cares about money. $5,000 gators, $10,000 suits, Benzes, jets. The Creflo Dollar needs a $60 million jet to fly around the world. That's crazy. You don't need a jet to fly around the world. You need to take that 60 million and dump it right into the ISUPK. Give it to the ISUPK so we can take care of our people, since you stinking pastors won't take care of our people. Right? Let's stop this screen share for a second. Did I read 43? No, I read 43. Is Israel a homeborn slave? We're definitely not homeborn slaves, right? But because we don't keep the law, we're enslaved. But yeah, all right. Let's get Jeremiah. Jeremiah 2 and 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Right? We're we're not homeborn slaves. We're not supposed to be spoiled. Right? I got some more images. We're gonna go through some more images. I really want to see if I can get that. Let's jump to Amos. Where's our Amos? Let's jump to Amos. Yeah, right after Daniel. Right after Hosea. Let's jump to Amos 9 and 12. Right? Because we act like we're homeborn slaves. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be in reverse. Here, do the same thing still. See if I can get this to work a second. Man, I want to go back into that video. Hopefully it works this time. I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna post the link for you in a second. I'm gonna stop that. We're gonna go back into the screen share again. Right, bear with me for a second. Just look at these images for a quick second. Bear with me for one moment. I'll be right back. All right. A lot of for bearing with me for the moment. But I'm gonna drop those video links before the end of this class. We're gonna be wrapping up soon. But look at these images, right? The oppressor, he hates us. This is what he thinks of us. When you act like you don't know who you are, right? This is the result of not keeping the law, right? Look at this one. Good night. You have a naked oppressor playing with this child like he's a toy, right? Like it's a bat toy. And that's what they thought of us. They thought we were just property to be used and discarded, right? Wow. Some of these images, some of these images of fear and the truth, it will fuel you for energy for camp, right? Look at this. She has some type of moonshine and a baby in a watermelon sitting on a watermelon, and she's smiling, right? Notice a lot of times they always have us smiling. Zinfandel juice grapes, right? Small black. This is how they would sell their images too. Just like in today, they use a lot of black people to sell everything, right? They did the same thing back then. Well, damn, this is a bag of marbles. Are those marbles? Yeah, there's a bag of marbles, right? Topsy and Lil Black Sambos, right? They use black people just like they did today to sell a whole bunch of things, right? Let's just 1 second. Let me find the next one. Right? Recently, they changed the image. The image of Uncle Ben's rice, right? To a new Uncle Ben. Oh, I also have another, right? This is, um, hold up. Get, right? Let me get a preset for you, right? So we think like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, like you are not a homeborn slave. You don't have to act like a homeborn slave. You don't have to act like a coon to to make money. You don't have to act like you don't have a heritage. You have a rich heritage. You have a heritage of kings and princes, right? And princesses, right? You have the heritage of the Lord destroying whole nations to free you up. Like when he destroyed us when he brought us out of Egypt, right? And now look at Egypt. Egypt is dust, right? All the jewels and all the treasures that Egypt once had is sitting in some oppressor's museum, right? When Blackity Blacks say, those Kemet fools say, oh, we're Cometian, we're Egyptian, right? You just look at them and ask them, why is Egypt destroyed? Why is all the artifacts that are in Egypt in some oppressor's museum? Right? This is Amos 9 and 12. That they may Salakia. Hold up. Let's jump to verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, right? Because Jerusalem fell. The Israelites were scattered, right? David's our king. David was our king, and most importantly, Yahushua, Jesus Christ, comes from the lineage of David. He comes from David's seed, right? That is fallen and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, right? The Lord's gonna raise Israel back up, and I will build it up as in the old days. There was a time when we had glory. Tremble. We walked around Jericho and we blew trumpets. We blew shofars, right? Ram's horns, right? And we stomped our feet. And the walls of Jericho fell. There's no more Jericho, right? Verse 12. That they may possess the remnant of Edom, right? We're going to possess Edom, right? And all of the heathen and every other nation, right? That the Salakia and all of the heathen which are called by my name, right? Saith the Lord that does this. Right? We're not supposed to be any types of, right? Look at, they always use blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to sell whatever they wanted to sell. Just look at this. Hold on. Let's get rid of that one. Right here. Right? Some Jake. Some Jake. He's supposed to be smiling. Uncle Ben's. Right? Just notice. This says Uncle Ben's. Now it says Ben's. It just says Ben's original. Because there was a time when Salakia. I'm just trying to think of the right precept, right? Let me see if I can find it. I believe it's servants on horses, right? And it'll make more sense when I read the precept for you. Let's see. Let me see if this is it. Oh, no. It's hold up. I know which one it is. Let me find it right quick. Right here. This is exactly what I want right here. Right. So let's go to Isaiah 49 and 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers, right? And they shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth, right? The oppressor is going to eventually have to bow down to us. Because there was a time when our uncles, our fathers, and our brothers were the nursing fathers of the oppressor's children. That's why you go, right? Let's find another one. Let's find another one. I'm gonna find another one real quick. And then we're gonna go back into those images. I got a couple more images for you, right? We're gonna go back into those images, and we're gonna keep reading some more. Right? Now, if you eating pancakes and waffles, well, you know you're gonna know this one, right? Because just like Uncle Ben's, they had Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima, right? And you look at this character and how they made her characterization, right? And then we're gonna go back to these images, and you're gonna see exactly what we're talking about. It's always been the same. It always portrayed our character as just smiling. We're just supposed to smile. We're not supposed to act like we're in trouble, like we're in mourning. We don't get the right to mourn, right? We definitely don't get the right to mourn. This is the image of my mom, right? She's on all the maple syrup, all the pancakes mixed. Now let's go back to it. And this is Isaiah 49 and 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers, right? Aunt Jemima and nursing mother, right? This is the mammy image, the image of mammy, right? She would be the woman who took care of those devil children. They would drive her up the wall. Right? Rid of that. Aunt Jemima. Right? 1 second. Let's get that. The new Aunt Jemima. Right? And these are the images that they've given us for years. Right? These images make us hate ourselves to the point where we only see ourselves as coons, and we only as we're supposed to be at the bottom. We don't see ourselves as we're supposed to be ruling. The ruling class. Let's go more into some of these. Let's read some more precepts. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Psalms 137, verse 9. Right? Psalms 137, 7 to 9. Remember, O Lord, the children who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon. 1 second. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day. This is 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Our oppressors are supposed to be destroyed. They're not supposed to have roots anymore. Right? When the wicked mourn it, when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn it. Right? When the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. Right? Hold up, I gotta give it for you. Right? We're gonna save that one though. We're gonna save that one. We're gonna try to get some more. Right? This is what they really think of us. We're just supposed to be entertainment for them. Look at these images, right? They have us as coal black, right? But here's the thing: you take that coal, you put us under so much pressure, and we're gonna come out diamonds, right? They have us as coal black, no sweat. We're gonna come back diamonds. We're gonna come out that dirt and come up gold, right? Rocky, yeah, they really have us looking like we're some type of animal. Don't even look like a human being. Okay, let's get one more. Where Isaiah 7. Isaiah 34, verses 5 and 6. Right? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidney of rams. For the Lord had a sacrifice in Bozrah, right? Bozrah was where Edom had Bozrah at one time, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, right? So there's going to be a great slaughter in the land of Edom, right? There's going to be a great slaughter in this kingdom right now, right? It's happening. You see the like so many waves. First they said the first wave, now it's the second wave, the third wave, the fourth wave. There's like over 10 different variants for, right? And they're saying get the vaccine. Now if you need the vaccine, go get that vaccine. But what you really need is the vaccine for white supremacy. That's keeping the law, right? You need that vaccine. You need to keep the law so the Lord could protect you. And the Lord could send the angels. Right? Give me one moment, I'll be right back. Hold up, bear with me. We're gonna keep going. the water again for bearing with me. We finish this Isaiah. Yeah, we did. Let's jump to Romans. Right, we're not supposed to be at the bottom. We're gonna get a couple more of these images. Right, just look at these images. They made this black man look exactly like this monkey. Right, call us monkeys. Right, they even had a shoe polish or floor polish, preferred wax. Right, for vinyl floors, furniture, and leather. Right, so this was the same polish that they would put on their face for blackface. Right, and you seen Prince Harry, he dressed up in blackface. You seen Justin Trudeau dressed up in blackface. Their oppressors always dressed up in blackface, right? Okay, right? This is supposed to be buckwheat. Like we don't know how to say okay. English is a bastard language, anyways. But they would have us up as saying okay, right? Good man. Let me get to that precept that I wanted. I needed Isaiah. No, I need Romans 9 and 13. Right? Where is he at? Romans 9 and 13. Right? The Lord hates our oppressors. He doesn't he doesn't like what's going on. That's why there's a unknown enemy, as Donald Trump put it, an unknown enemy, an invisible enemy that the earth is fighting right now. The Lord hates the rulership of our oppressors. Right? We got Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved. Jacob being blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? On your father's side. But Esau have I hated. The Lord has always hated Esau. Like you can't get around it. The Lord hates Esau. Right. And eventually the third woe is gonna start. It's gonna kick up into full gear. It's already started. It started way back in the early 2000s, right? That third woe, the third world war, right? It's gonna kick up into full gear. All the nations are gonna meet up in the Middle East to fight. That's when that sky is gonna crack, and you're gonna see Christ come through with those angels, right? Again, Jacob have Esau, Salakia, where is it? As it is written, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Lord loves you. You are his chosen people, a special people, a holy people unto himself. You are not a clone. You are not a picking, right? That's how they portray us, as picking. You can get rid of this. Any more I want to show from this? It's just all the same, right? It's continuous, right? Uh, to show you this, right? In the midst of all the time they make blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans look bad, we had a sister. She she was a sister that she good night, man. I was rocking with this sister until I found out I was rooting for established records. Then she married that devil, and it's like good night. It's like when you know The only way I could put this is not to call, right? But a child grows up watching some type of comic superhero show, and the hero is such a good guy, and then you find out the hero is really the villain the whole time. So let me wow, this thing is gonna take its time. Nah, I don't think he wanted me to show it. Okay, so we got it. This right here is Serena Williams, looking damn near like what you could love the oppressor. You grow up to love the oppressor, and you can't love one, you can't love two, right? So if you love your oppressor, you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna hate your people. Just look what she did. She's bleaching so much. She hates herself. This was a beautiful dark skinned sister. Now she thinks she's the Faith Evans of tennis, right? She's trying to get on some that's what happens. They gave us so much ourselves as nothing until we say that we love the oppressor, right? And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Christ died for you, right? He didn't die for the for the other nations. He died for you because you're the one that's going through all the torture in the world, right? You're the one going through all the torture in the world, right? Right. So there was a woman of Canaan, right? She tried to get a blessing, right? And Christ didn't answer her, right? So eventually she was just annoying, and he let her know, right? So we're gonna read from Matthew 15 and 22. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David, right? My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word, right? Verse 23. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and sought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us, right? But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are that lost sheep, right? You need a leader. We have a leader on earth right now in Commanding General Yohanna until Christ gets back, right? On earth, Commanding General Yohanna has the mantle until Christ gets back, right? You need a leader. Without a leader, you're going to keep seeing images of yourself being bank robbers, drug dealers, whores, and pimps, prostitutes, and just the scum, right? Denzel Washington got an Oscar for playing a crooked cop. Now, I don't support Malcolm X because Malcolm X was not in the truth, and Malcolm X was trying to get us to love oppressors as well. But damn, Denzel played a good Malcolm X, and he never got an Oscar for that, right? Now, in that time, you could say that Malcolm X he wasn't telling our people to sell drugs. He was trying to get us to another God, but he wasn't telling our people to sell drugs. He wasn't Salakia. The way to say it is he wasn't a crooked cop, right? He wasn't Lonzo, right? But Denzel got the award for playing Lonzo, the crooked cop, right? All we see of ourselves in the media is terrible black images, right? If you don't see that, you see Tyler Perry in full drag, acting like a ghetto woman with no sense, a ghetto black woman with no sense. And they pay him. They pay him deliciously. They pay him so much money that he's able to build studios so he can make more Medea movies and act like that's the image of the black woman, right? And when you watch Tyler Perry's movies, it is always a terrible sister and a terrible brother. Never a good image, right? This is what they portray to us. They don't portray good images to us, right? See if I can get one more. What am I looking for? 11. Right. This is and so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written. There shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away the ungodliness of Jacob. Right? So this, like, Christ came for us, right? That's who he came to save. He came to save us. Right? Let's go. We'll go to one more. Romans what is this? Romans 9:3. For for I wish that myself were cursed from Christ for my brethren and my kinsmen according to the flesh. Right? So this is Paul talking about he wished that he could take the curse that Christ has to go through, the punishment, the sacrifice that Christ has to go through, right? For his brethren and his kinsmen. His kinsmen, Paul was an Israelite, a Benjamite, who are Israelites, verse 4, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory, and the covenant, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises. Right? So that's letting you know Christ came for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're not a cool, you're not a picking. The images that they put up of us in the media of whores, drug dealers, and drug addicts. Right now, it's not even a gangster image. Before, it was just a gangster image. Right now, they're giving you the drug addict image. They want you to be full blown heroin addicts. Right? They gave us the drugs, and now it's reaching their community, and they're like, no, we can't have this. We need to shift it right back to the black and Native Americans. Right? So now you have every song pill that, and that's what you hear on mainstream radio. Kids are singing these songs and not even knowing they're being indoctrinated. Right? They're being indoctrinated to these songs. Right? So with that said, I'm Officer 500 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General Yohanna. This has been another Monday night history class. Right? I'm going to read the announcements right quick and give a quick courtesy salute. Don't forget to check out Blackwatch. Blackwatch is on right now on Blackwatch. Commanding General Yohanna. Check it out on YouTube. I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to show themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After this 6-month period, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'asher, which means 10% of every penny of ink, which means tenth in Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest month, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like. Up and coming holy convocations is the Feast of First Fruits. That would be June 21st, 2021. Reminder to Akim and Aqua to check ISUPK.com or ISUPK Canada on Facebook and Instagram for any up and coming events. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, I'm going to give a quick courtesy salute to the brothers. All right? Ahmad, Salakia. Barak, Yahweh, Shai, Barakatah to the brothers. Yahweh, Shemar, Alatah, Bashim, Shai to the sisters. Again, I'm Officer Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K. The water for watching. Go check out Black Watch.